Am I audible now? Now it must be audible. Okay. Pranams. So I was saying yesterday's last almost like 20 minutes or something got cut off, and I have learned that you shouldn't switch on the switch over internet connections during live. It simply disconnects. So here it was running, but later I came to know it was not there. So what I'll do is I'll just repeat repeat the last part of. So we were talking about how opportunities are there. Like Arunachala gives us an opportunity even in the regular work. Huh? Like a crow flying and crow's wings flap, and that air that goes to Arunachala is like considered as a seva of fanning. So it's what we are understanding is anything you do in Arunachala becomes a divine act, provided it is aligned with dharma. That's very important. Okay, here it stresses on dharma. It doesn't mean that you do anything and it will become that. If one is aligned with dharma, like the cows or the crows or the insects, what is their dharma? To live life the way it is. And one is not claiming a religion and then catching hold of someone's throat and then trying to defend one's religion and claiming superiority over it. It's not Sanatan. Sanatan means universality. Every life is throbbing in Sanatan. Sanatan means the way it is, the way life is. The wind blowing is Sanatan. An insect flying is Sanatan. You know, a snake creeping is Sanatan. Because that doesn't have an agenda. Look very carefully. The wind doesn't have an agenda. Fire doesn't have an agenda. Earth doesn't have an agenda. Water doesn't have an agenda. Panchamahabhuta. They mean the Panchatattvas. The insects, the reptiles, the plants, the trees, the mountains, they don't have agenda. Who has agenda? Only human beings. Anything that is alive, that exists the way it has to be, the way it is in its more natural form, without imposing any agenda, that is Sanatan. The way God created creation in its originality, what is running, the way it was created, without any addition and subtractions, that is Sanatan. That is Dharma. You say Dharma means abiding in Dharma means abiding in the truth, connecting with the morality, what you say, state without pollution, contamination in mind. What is supposed to be, that's Dharma. Natural, pure instinct, compassion, karuna, love, sharing, caring. This is Dharma. This is the Sanatan Dharma. You show compassion, that's Dharma. Opposite of compassion, adharma. Love, Dharma. Hate, adharma. What is naturally divine, that is Sanatan Dharma. So the trees are simply existing without an agenda. They contribute to the existence. They are all contributing to an existence. Only human beings try to take others' contributions. Hardly anybody comes to that state of thinking of what can I do for others. That's dharma. What can I snatch from others is adharma. So aligning with adharma, whatever you do becomes a punya act. Bird flying or a bird catching the, what is that, fireflies in the nest, and that firefly giving light to somebody else. See, the firefly giving light to others because that is born to give light. Firefly, A bee is supposed to serve in its own way. A pigeon is supposed to serve in its own way. The same way, this also, firefly. It exists. It doesn't want to give light also, but its nature is to provide light. Whatever is in the Prakriti, form, the Prakriti, the true Prakriti of that, that is Dharma. So, what are we? Whatever we are in the true form, real nature, that is Dharma. When we misalign from what we are, Adharma. The self is Dharma, ego is Adharma. So, being in the self, abiding in the self, aligned with the self is Dharma, that is Sanatan Dharma. How can we call anything coming into the ego and then functioning from the ego and then claiming this is our Dharma? I don't understand that. Very, very simple. So, when you do your Dharma in such a holy place, actually, when you come to that holy place, you have to do Dharma. Life, you are doing. One cannot sin when one is in deep awareness and completely aware. One cannot sin. One is in the Sanatan Dharma, that is in the Dharma aligned. One when they come out of it, and the mind comes in Adharma. So we can see how when you come to the soul and do any act, it becomes a great source for your grace and liberation. That is what we are seeing here. All these beings got liberated by doing this. So in that vicinity, why they say everybody gets moksha. In the vicinity of Bhagavan Ramana, there were all kind of stuff. You look very closely. There were robbers, there were grahasthas, there were sannyasis, there were vairagis, there were people of all faith. There were the rich, there were the poor, there were beggars, there were kings, there were politicians. Everybody. And at the same time, there were dogs, there were crows, there were pigeons, there were jackals, there were snakes, there were squirrels, there were peacocks, there were bees, everything there. And Bhagavan Ramana used to always say that do not try to stop anything that comes to me. Anything, including human. Do not try to stop anything that comes towards me because they are coming to me to finish off their karma. Anybody who comes to Arunachala is coming to finish off their karma. They are in the final lapses. Bacha kucha jo bhi hai. They are finishing it up. So it's a privilege to be in Arunachala. It's a privilege to be called by Arunachala because that's not an ordinary call. I told you, right? Once the fire lights up, you come there, lights up. Not just coming, even thinking of it. Chala, you may not be able to come, but even no. Here it's showing everything fantastic. And all the other things are running here. It's something with the YouTube. Anyways, I think it's fine, right? If anything stops or anything, just send me a WhatsApp message. Here you won't be able to. Why is it so smoky today? Just a minute. Yeah, now that's better. Now I think now it should be better. Anyways, so if anything, any interruption, just stop me. There was nothing much yesterday. What I was repeating was almost the same what I was telling in the end. So there are many things that if you do here, like if one constructs a tower, a gopura, a sikpara, a road, a mantapa, digs a well in this place, whatever desires are there, that should be fulfilled. This is the Arunachal Mahatma that's saying. Let this linga of fire, which cannot be approached by the mortals, be worshipped on earth. Unnaimulai Ambika, the supreme power, nourishes the entire world with her creation. The mother of the universe is eternally young. Let those who desire to become eternally young worship her. This is what we read yesterday, and I was telling eternally young doesn't mean the physical, kaya kalp, and all that stuff. That's all mind, body, ego, extending the body and things like that. It's not to extend the body, this is to realize. This is to realize that I am immortal. Realizing my mortality is what we pray for. Mahamrutyunjay mantra. Om Trembakam Jamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukme Bandhanam Mrityor Mokshyam Amrutat. Mrityor Mokshyam Amrutat. Like a cucumber falls, ripens and falls. Let me also fall like that. Means effortlessly. Let me not struggle. Let me not put strain. Let me fall off by your grace. Means from sansara. Let me not have to struggle. Sansara is the body also. In death, let me not have to struggle. I don't want to go. Let me go very easily. Without any pain, without pain of this samsara, losing anything. Let me effortlessly rise. Make me like that. That is Mahamrutyunjay mantra. Mrityor Mokshyam Amrita. It is not just a health mantra. The biggest health problem, the biggest disease is this body, Ramana says. To get rid of the disease means what? To get rid of not the body, to get rid of the attachment to the body. Not telling to get rid of the body, but attachment to the body. Same way, not to get rid of samsara, but get rid of the attachment to samsara. Not to get rid of your family, but to get rid of your attachment, moha, obsession with family. As I tell again and again, this is where I feel spiritual paths have just failed, not succeeded in liberating people from the moha to their samsara, people, places, and things. What use it is? You do this and this, 100 types of sadhanas, but in the end, you are unable to let go of your attachment to your body, to your name, to your title, to me and mine, and all this. Those who teach also are stuck in their me and mine. We are still with our families, me, my daughter, my son, my father, my mother, my grandfather, my uncle, my aunt, my brother, my sister, my dog, my cat. What use is spirituality? Mrityor Mokshyam Amrutat. That is the purpose. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. What is the meaning? Lead me from Asat to Sat. Lead me from all that is false to truth. Where are we leading? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Lead me from the darkness of all this illusion that I am stuck in. I'm doing all this spiritual practice, but I can't get rid of my illusion. Sitting in the illusion, I'm doing tapas. So your tapas also is another illusion. Are you getting it? If you sit with the mantra in that deeply in that illusion, and then what people do with the illusion, you sit with the mantra, protect my child, save my child, give more money to my child, make my husband live long, I'll go and tie threads around the banyan tree. This only japa is going. That is samsara. Japa is supposed to, like the cucumber, it has to ripen and detach you from this false ideas. Asatoma sadgamaya. Tamasoma, from this darkness, from this ignorance, lead me to light. ज्योतिर्गमय. कहा है ज्योति? बल भी नहीं लगता है. साधना किए जाओ कीप ऑन डूइंग साधना, बल भी नहीं लग रहा अंदर से. So all this sadhana, all this practice, what you call, is to maintain your words. What kind of spirituality is that? Day and night, maintaining that word. And you see the mantra, you see the essence of Upanishad, you see the Vedas, you see all this Arunachala Tattva and all, it's showing some other and it's talking something else, we are doing something else. And we are sitting with the pride, I am a yogi, I am a this yogi, I am a that yogi. Big deal. That is another moha. That is another maya. Here we are trying to get rid of concepts. Shiva is telling, don't become anything, my dear. Don't even become my so-called bhakta. That will bring your ego. Oh, I am a Shiva bhakta, Har Har Mahadev. The moment you hold something in pride, immediately the opposite will come. Like if you say, I am a Shiva bhakta, immediately you will see non-Shiva bhaktas. And then you will start hating them. The moment you feel, I am spiritually divine and illuminated and awakened, suddenly you'll see unawakened people, sleeping people, then you can't sit quiet. You'll tease them, you'll trouble them. You'll compare, you'll stand in front of them and show off, like, look how awakened I am, how much full of wisdom I am, look how much of tapas I do, look, I have a guru, look, I have a path. What do you have? I'm telling you, some people are far better without all these things. I am telling you by experience. I have seen people, those who have caught up in all these glamour stuff, and those who are not doing anything but are pure of hearts, following dharma from inside. Something tells them inside. They might go in the morning and do an agarbatti. They might pray to God to give them buddhi, to give them strength to live life, you know, to give them the courage, to give them the inspiration. And their prayers are very simple, like, to give me bhakti. Let me not forget you, Lord. Much better than all these sadhana padanas and then all these yogi pogis, different titles, oh, medal, dalke. What is the use? Utter nonsense. We cannot fool. We are fooling our own egos in this. So that prayer, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, that has to come somewhere. We have to illumine, and somewhere we have to see what are we doing, what's happening. Forget others, forget what the world is doing. At least I awaken and get off from the crowd, a mad crowd that doesn't know where it's going. Nobody knows where they are going. You ask anybody, all are, we are going somewhere. Come, join. So when you don't know where you're going, and you see a group that says, we also don't know where we are going, but it looks all fine. Come on, come on. You will also join that. So you have to be illumined. You have to awaken and see what is all this about. It's not about taking up or giving up something. It's just about asatoma sadgamaya. What is asat you must see. What is the sat? What is the asat? For that you need viveka to discriminate between sat and asat. So these are all viveka prayers. Increase in my buddhi. Gayatri mantra. Why did I do that webinar? Gayatri mantra and Mahamrutyunjay mantra. I told you the essence. This is how you must practice that. I have done Mahamrutyunjay sadhana many years back, about 30 years back. Without any coming into any path, I used to do that. That was a different feel altogether. So there was a meaning. We knew the meaning of that. You have to do it at all level. Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashanti, Paravani. What you say, you must simultaneously know. The meaning must go on in your head. And what is going on in your head and mouth, vak, that must happen in your vibration. Pashanti. 3, when it is aligned, mantra's power will activate. It will just activate. Because these are already empowered mantras. These mantras which are there, these are empowered mantras. These are open mantras for everybody, but you must know how to activate it within you. A guru whose presence is activated, his vak is activated. He has the power of words. Whatever he speaks, there is power in the words. That is how the guru gives shishya the mantra, because the guru is activated. Anything that comes from his mouth, because he is aligned. See, I'm telling you the secret simply. It is just the alignment of these 4. The guru is, whatever he is saying, he knows he is at the mental level also is connected, at the vibration level also is connected. Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, 3 level is connected. Of course, Paravani. Paravani is the self. He is connected to the silence also. Paravani is silence, the language of silence, where the mantra is not yet manifested. It is the unmanifest. mantra, unmanifest vibration. It has not yet become a vibration also. From that nothingness, Paravani, it takes vibration. Pashyanti. From vibration, it becomes a thought. It comes into the mind. Madhyama. From the mind, it becomes speech. Vaikhari. So if you want to understand the power of these mantras in depth and you want to activate it, you can do the course. Antakarana Shuddhi, which I had done, in that both are there. Gayatri Mantra and Mahamrityunjay Mantra. How to recite it, how to align with the three, and what to hold on, what bhava to hold on. You'll see intense purification happening. Gayatri Mantra. So yesterday, where the video got cut, I was talking about that only. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. When we say Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, these are the three worlds, internal and outside, personal as well as universal mantra. It is your three bodies and the outside three bodies, the earth, the astral world, and the heavenly world. Lower world, middle world, higher world. Three worlds outside, and your three world, your physical body, your prana sharira, etheric body, and your mind body. Manomaya kosha. These three. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Then the meaning, Tatsavitur Varenyam, the light that shines through all this. The light, the God that shines through all this. I meditate upon this light. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And this light which I meditate upon, may this same light illumine my intellect. Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Every word, if you say and you mean and you vibrate while connected to the self, wow. That is how you should do mantra japa. So, what I am saying is, mantra japa is again to liberate us, not to sit just chanting something and say, give me long life to my husband, give admission to the college to my daughter, give let the visa be approved for my son. What is all this? What is all this? Or let my disease go away. Om Trambakam Yajamhe Sugandhi Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam. Throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. Oh God, take it away, you take it. Anybody take it. It will not go that way. Gayatri Mantra is also that way. It purifies the intellect. Why intellect? Because with that I can say Satoma, Satkamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mritanggamaya. From Mrityu lead me to immortality. Not give me Kaya Kalp. Give me a six-pack body. Give me the most beautiful face. Give me a very elegant body that I can display around and attract. It doesn't mean that. To increase lifespan. No. It means that immortality in me, that self which is immortal, I want to be in that. I want to shift into that space and see life, how I am liberated. That I don't die. It's like hurrah. It's like hooray. I know I don't die. That is immortality, realization of immortality. Give me that, is what we are asking. Because once you see that, asatoma sadgamaya, all the falls will start falling. You cannot catch falls anymore. All the darkness will fall. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Mrityu will never happen because there is no mrityu. You realize by experience. That is the power of these mantras. So, spirituality means this, liberating, dharma. This is our dharma. What is our dharma? Durga Shapshati's story, when I was talking for in Parashakti's webinar, didn't I tell you that what the Parashakti Ahwan? When you do the Ahwan, invocation of the Parashakti asks in those stories. Sumedarshi tells the king and that businessman who comes there. He tells that this is a Mahayuddha. Are you remembering your purpose of coming here. Do you remember your dharma? That's your dharma. If you remember your dharma and you are willing to walk on that dharma, the Parashakti is with you. But if you are war, if you are invoking her to be splits in bits, ye dushman ko maro, wo dushman ko maro, simply creating diversities, and you are not thinking about akhanda. The final goal of who you are akhanda. Khandit ka nahi. So Parashakti never comes for Khandit callings. Lower gods and deities will come for that. How much ever you call. And you cut goat and give it and say, Ma, I am offering to. That's not Parashakti. Parashakti will not come for all. The Parashakti is the final goal. Realizing the Para. Para is Purna. So these details are there in all these sadhanas. With this, if this Gyan Khat is missing, you can, take this sadhana somewhere else. That is how the misinterpretation are happening. Mantras, tapasya, sadhana, everything is there. But we are still stuck in the world only. Nobody is able to get out of their this me and mine. All are in that rung only. And they are doing and doing what they are doing, God only knows. So I am telling, let them do, let whoever wants to. Matlab, this is a very clear thing. Because when these things are told, also people get offended. I don't know why. So I simply tell me what wrong as am I saying. At least correct me, right? You can't simply get offended. Correct me what I'm saying. Tell me where am I telling wrong. No answers. Just offended. Oh, he's talking something. He is not the right person. He is talking something bad. Don't listen to him. Why? So are you getting it? All these identities, I'm a yogi, pogi, all these things are never ending, and these are another Maya. What is Shiva telling Parvati? Give up everything, all your concepts. Being a devotee, this, you are nothing. And here in spirituality, you are adding one more title, Lelo. We are waiting for that. Some title to be given. The group. Oh, we belong to this group. We belong to this cult. We belong to this religion. We are waiting for that. खंड है ये, खंडित है. यहाँ पराशक्ति नहीं आती है. Wherever विभाजन है, wherever break is there. That's not. So Arunachala Tattva is to make you Purna. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudyachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purna की साधना है. So Purna means Para. इसलिए Para Shakti, Para Shiva, Para Bhairava, Para Brahman. Whenever you use the word Para, then there is no other. Then there is no comparisons and all that. It's Purna. Then don't tell that Muslim hai, Jain hai, Buddhism hai, and all that. Then वो सब विभाजन है. That's not Parashakti. You should not have any such diversity in you. I keep telling the members of SI. Why I keep telling the members of SI? Because they are the only one who listen to something, the depth of what we are trying to say. So I can tell them, those who are listening. What is the hint that I've given? Oh, I've told this very, very clearly. Till you finish your diversity, you are never going to get even close. Advait Advait sab naam ki cheeze hain. You will never come close until you are able to remove all the barriers, all the fencing that you have put. Caste and creed and cult and religion and path and lineage. We belong to this tradition, we belong to this lineage. Damn, there is no lineage on top there. At the higher level, there is no lineage. Lineages are the spiritual egos. We belong to this panth and that panth, and we are fighting war. Imagine paths are fighting between each other. They are comparing. Chain ही नहीं है. Simply taking the name and sitting. What is going to be the name? Maula Maula लाख पुकारे Maula हाथ ना आए. शिवा शिवा लाख पुकारे शिवा हाथ ना आए. गुरु गुरु लाख पुकारे गुरु हाथ ना आए. शब्दों से हम खेल रहे हैं. शब्दों से हम बहक रहे हैं. शब्दों से हम बहल रहे हैं. माना हाथ ना आए. The meaning will never come in hand. मुल्ला और पंडित दोनों ने राह न पाई. Mala mala karte karte, Shiva Shiva karte karte. You talk any big deal, you talk any great scriptures, till you finish off these barriers, you cannot understand the Purna. And Shivatva is that. Shiva Sutra, first sentence only say Chaitanyam Atma. Every single particle is come out from that consciousness. So we becoming some yogi pogi, we will say, okay, Shiva is there in our kan, in our every cell is there. Then मुसलमान के सेल में क्यों नहीं है? वो क्यों नहीं दिख रहा आपको? गटर में क्यों नहीं दिख रहा? कुत्ते बिल्ली में क्यों नहीं दिख रहा? In your enemy, why don't you see it, Shiva? Here are big talks. But when it comes to Vibhajan, Khandit, we immediately jump and we break everything. Where is Shiva gone at that time? Is he not there in the Kana there? These are all double standards, hypocrisy. This is not Adhyatma. This is not you say something, you do something. कण कण में शिव है, जैसे वो हमारा जाति का नहीं है, वो बाहर का जाति का है. Somebody told once in the place I was, that is where I got little retaliative. Somebody said, कोई अलग जाति का आदमी आया था हमारे यहाँ पे, आश्रम में यहाँ आके भड़काता था. अलग जाति का. मेरे गुरु ने कभी भेद नहीं किया. My guru never did any such nonsense. Otherwise, why would have kept me with him for 7-8 years? If he had that, खंड नहीं था, लोगों में है खंड. तो they still see somebody from another जाति came. एक अलग प्रजाति बना दिया. Because my only sin was that I am born in a Christian family. So I don't belong anywhere else. I was told very clearly, you don't belong here. Who wants to belong also to all this khandit, tukade, 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 tukade? I belong to the universe. I don't belong to that Shiva which you have captured in your religion, in your paths, and you say, this is mine. I belong to that Shiva that's Purna, Para, जो सबका है. हमें उससे मतलब है. वो ठुकराता नहीं है, तुम ठुकराओ. तुम्हारे अंदर ठुकराना ही भरा हुआ है. खंडित करके बैठे हो, सब विभाजित करके बैठे हो. वो काला है, गोरा है, वो उच्च जाति का है, नीच जाति का है, वो अमीर है, वो गरीब है, वो लेवल 3 है, वो लेवल 30 है. ये लाल कपड़ा पहनता है, ये हरा पहनता है, कुछ नहीं पहनता है. ये गले में ऑर्नामेंट्स पहना हुआ है, सब लॉकेट्स गले में, हाथों में, पैरों में, कमर में, सब तरफ लगा हुआ है, तो ये कुछ है. ये इसने कुछ नहीं पहना, तो ये कुछ नहीं है. This is the stupidity that we live in. I outright reject all these things. My personal views, I'm saying. And I'm just giving hints. Don't fall into all these brackets. Whatever the people do, use your viveka. Connect to the Shivatva inside. That voice will tell you from inside, this is all false. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. Just because great population follows it, you don't have to be everything. Ignorance is always in high population. What are you saying? You look in this world, what do you see? Positivity or negativity? Which is in higher percentage? You see. Don't go by numbers. Use Viveka for all this. Anyways, if grace is there with you, that grace takes you. It keeps you away from all this. Simple. You abide in Dharma. You follow Dharma. You'd never compromise with what is other than the truth. You are not interested in any other than the truth. Just catch the truth, come what may, whoever it is, whatever it is. If you live without compromise, you'll go there. That attitude should be there. No compromise. Whoever it is, whatever it is, whatever, whoever. We have a lot of barriers. We say if and but. If it is my people, we'll see. If it is my family, थोड़ा डील बाहर के लड़ेंगे, लड़ मरेंगे. Will become. If it is my cult, my religion, थोड़ा देखेंगे. And that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Where are you running, fleeing from this? I can't fight. Why? Because that side, my friends are there. My teachers are there. My families are there. On the other side, how can I fight a war with them? My guru is standing, my cousins are standing, my friends are standing, my family members. I cannot fight. I'm going. Krishna says that's your problem. Because that I is there, I cannot fight. How do you know? It's you fighting. I am fighting through you. And let me remind you, Krishna says, this is a war of dharma. This is nothing about some partial or some personal agendas. It is setting right dharma. Adharma hua hai. So this is a war of dharma, and you are supposed to fight the war of dharma because you are chosen. I am fighting through you. I am doing it through you. Your problem is because you say, I am the doer, you are scared. This is me, mine. You have that me and mine people are there. Because the me is there, I is there, that mine is come, and that is why you are staggering. But you go about and see the truth. There is no me and mine. You are just doing what is right. Just doing what is right is called dharma without compromise. What else do we need? So, in the end, towards the end of this, I was saying, worship the Lord of Sonadri and the repository of immeasurable, measurable virtues, who grants the boons and the source of all joy. Your desires will all be fulfilled, and you will join Shambhu. So, this is Gautama Rishi telling mother, that you will join Shambhu soon, your desires will be fulfilled. Your penance is meant for the welfare of the world. There is nothing which you desire for yourself. So, mother is not desiring anything for herself. That is her selfless sadhana. That is what I keep on telling again. Our sadhana must be selfless. If you want result in it, it should be an unconditional sadhana, not conditional. पहले ही ठान लिया, why am I doing sadhana? I want this. Those are not real sadhanas. That is not penance. See, here he is giving an example. Your penance is meant for the welfare of the world. That is selflessness. Because she knows whatever she is doing, it will help others. Like Bhagavan Ramana says, the greatest seva that you can do is self-realize. When you self-realize, others also benefit. That is the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra internal, whatever you practice, you are doing in your inner world, it will automatically connect and help the others also. It's a universal mantra. It's a selfless mantra. That is why we chose that webinar, Gayatri Mantra. It's a very pure, very pure, and it's a very powerful mantra. There are thousands of Gayatri Mantras. Brahma Gayatri is the original, the main, and then there are many Gayatri Mantras. Every Rishi has a Gayatri Mantra, every Tattva has a Gayatri Mantra, anything you tell. You can say Shiva Gayatri Mantra, you can say Shakti Gayatri Mantra, you can say Atri Gayatri Mantra, you can say Markandeya Gayatri Mantra. There are innumerable mantras, Gayatri Mantras. You check it out. Gayatri Mantra is linked with everything because it purifies all the tattvas. You can use any tattva and do that. It's one of the most powerful, subtle, soft, yet powerful mantra of the Universal Mother. I would always recommend that for purity, because what we are trying to do is Nirmalman. Internally, if you keep on doing this, internally, lot of load shedding happens. Karmas burn silently. But that intention should not be, let me finish my karmas and I get something. No. May we all benefit. May I benefit, may all benefit. May I be liberated, may all be liberated. May I become pure, may everybody become pure. Universal mantra. That is the bhav with which you should sit. So he's telling here, Dekho, Gautam Rishi, your penance is meant for the welfare of the world. Tuma. There is nothing which you desire for yourself. Let the austerities and dharmas of rishis flourish. Devatas do penance only to fulfill their desires. Gautam Rishi is telling, Devatas, even the gods, whatever they do it for their selfish interests. You are doing it selflessly. So even Devi Devatas, the gods and deities, the gods on the higher lokas, they are also doing some kind of, but they are doing it for benefit. Some want to maintain their chairs, so they want to continue keeping that their state, which they have earned with lot by doing lot of punyas. You get that kind of benefits, but then you can become greedy for that. You want to continue it, so you come back to earth and you again do punyas, and you want to get back. You see Updesaram, that story from Shiva Puran, where the rishis are doing the yagya with the rishi patnis, and Shiva comes and tells them, Get out of this cycle of punarpi janmam, punarpi maranam, because you're doing avan, you're doing in the name of Loka Kalyan, saving the world and all that, but you are getting punyas in return. Why are you not seeing that? Now we will say, what is wrong in that? पुण्य साधना फिर उसी के लिए तो करते हैं, पुण्य के लिए. This is not Arunachala Tattva. Arunachala Tattva is little different. We have been doing sadhana for all these only. Punyas, power, Shakti, manifestations, success, abundance, the building up relationships, again maintaining families, maintaining. ये इसके लिए हम करते हैं sadhana. So there it is to annihilate it. So you can see here the goal of all the lives will be reached by living near you when you are performing your penance. O Queen of all celestial beings, everything will be accomplished by your penance. So Gautam Rishi is praising the Divine Mother now, that everything will be happening here in your presence, in such a powerful presence. The Mother's presence is a pure intent. She wants nothing other than Shiva. Nothing other than Shiva. That is not a romantic love. What do you say? Oh, she wants her husband. She wants to realize herself. Self is Shiva. We are only Parvati. So until we have that kind of a craving, nothing other than Shiva. Mumukshatva, it's difficult. I was looking at one video and one Ustad, singer of Sufi, he was telling about Heer and Ranja. So Heer was Ranja. Heer is the male, right? And Ranja was the female. Yeah. So one Maulvi was reading namaz, and suddenly this Heer passed from there, and it brushed the Maulvi, and he was like upset. He said, "How dare you do that? Don't you see I'm reading namaz? I am connected with Allah, and you disturb me? How can you do that?" So yes, what are you meditating upon, O Maulvi? He says, I am meditating on Allah. If your eyes are on Allah and meditating on Allah, how did you even notice me brushed past by you? So that dazzles him. It's a very question. He says, other than Ranja, I don't see anything. I am madly looking for Ranja. You are looking for Allah. Other than Ranja, I don't see anything. I didn't see you. So when you are in with Allah, you shouldn't have seen me. It is said that Heer was so madly in love with Ranja. It is not again that in Sufism it's a very decoded word, beloved. Beloved is a decoded word. It's a coded word. If you decode it, it's the self. So Sufism just talks about love and romance and things like that. That's not the literal meaning. Okay. So he says, I am madly seeking for Ranja. Ranja, Ranja, karte karte. I am chasing this Ranja and I found God. When I was madly searching for Ranja, I found God, but this God is not like my Ranja. That's something. That's something. It's so deep. So that's the Sri Ranja is. It reminds me of Parvati's love for Shiva. It's like that. Crazy. Nothing else other than that. Ready to do anything. Give up anything. Give up everything. Anything. So Gautama Rishi is telling, Devatas do penance only to fulfill their desire, but you don't even have a desire of your own. The goal of our lives will be reached by living near you when you are performing your penance, because your austerity is so pure. If we do our penance in with you by where you are, we will reach our life goals. So what are we talking about? We are talking about Arunachala, because that's the place she did tapas. Are you getting the point? It's telling in the place that you did tapas, if we do, we will attain our goals of life. Are you getting it? I could explain this better than yesterday's that missed part. Probably it was missed for good only. On hearing these words of Muni, Goddess Gauri was extremely pleased. She praised him thus: "What other penance is necessary? I have had your darshan and of Arunachala, and I have obtained your blessings. I have listened to its glory. The earth is superior to Swarga, for the effulgent Linga abides here and it grants boons even to the Devas. Shiva can be attained only by his grace. His abode has been revealed to me. I shall adore him at this very place and propitiate him. I shall gain eternal union with Shiva." So after he praises, um, Gautama Muni praises the mother, she is now praising him. We saw this in the start also, the humility level. There is nobody senior and lower and higher, and there is nothing like a goddess there, and somebody is sitting there and she's doing tatastu on that Muni because she's a goddess. No, she is also bowing. You saw when she comes to the ashram of Gautama Rishi, she is also bowing, even though she is the highest. She is the beloved of Shiva. She is supposed to go there. You imagine if we are there in that position? If Shiva sends us, "Oh, you are little, you get purified and come." And you know you are going to reach there one day. How will we live on earth? जानते हो क्या मैं कौन हूँ? Wherever I go, I will expect मेरा साधना का स्थान सब ठीक है, उचित है, मेरा कक्ष पूरा तैयार है. ये लोग क्यों नहीं है मेरे स्वागत के लिए? Where are the garlands? Where are the people? Why no people? Why no trumpets? कोई आवाज शोर शराबा क्यों नहीं है? जानते नहीं मैं कौन हूँ? जानते नहीं या तपस्या करने आए हो? You get it? If we are there in that place, but it's Parvati, humblest of humble. She goes to Gautama Rishi and bows down there. She's praising. So here, when Gautama Rishi praises, she is praising. On hearing these words, Goddess Gauri became extremely pleased. She praised him thus: "What other penance is needed? I have had your darshan and of Arunachala, and I have obtained your blessings." She is telling that I have attained your blessings. Who's this your blessings? The one who is introducing to Arunachala. Are you getting the point? What other penance is needed? She's telling. Incomparable. I've I've had your blessings, due to which I have known the glory of Arunachala. Because you are the connector. That's the Guru Tattva. And she says, I have listened to its glory. The earth is superior to Swarga, for the effulgent Linga abides here. So, earth, Bhuloka, is more superior than the Swargaloka. Why? More greater than the heavens, because this effulgent Linga is residing here as Arunachala. And that Devas, those Devas who are there in the Swargaloka, if they want Mukti, they have to come here. They come and worship Shiva here on the earth. So, which is superior? It says this: earth is thus superior than the Swarga. Shiva can be attained only by his grace. By his grace. Shiva's grace. Why? And that grace can be gained how? Dharma. Nothing else. Dharma is everything. You cannot gain grace by any other means. You cannot have a wrong intention, have a misalignment in dharma, and do plenty of tapas. You might do this sadhana, that sadhana, everything you might do, but inside crookedness is there. Inside that dharma is not aligned. The purest, highest integrity is not there. That cannot win Shiva's grace. Even it might earn you punyas, it might earn you benefits, because the law of nature is that way. Whatever you strive for, you get. You do hard work, you will get results for that. But grace is something else. Grace is beyond hard work. See, Ravana did hard work, tapasya, and he got boons. All the asuras did hard work, tapasya, and they got boons. That is their tapasya ka phala. But the grace also follows that fruit, because they say, no, they won the heart of Shiva, they pleased Shiva. But that pleasing also is okay in order to pay back. But you see carefully, in that grace is hidden a solution for that cunningness. So if an asura has cunningness and tries to get something out of doing this and that, no wonder you'll get it, but deeply there will be an essence which will dissolve that wrong intent. You see the Mahishasura's intent, you see Ravana's intent, you see all the asuras' intent. That intent in the end has to be nullified by the grace. And you see very carefully, grace cunningly does it, because if I am cunning towards God, that reflection comes back. That grace comes back in a cunning. It is much more intelligent than me. Cunningness means intelligent. So if you see, all the asuras are only trying to break the codes. Like we, the earthlings, rules are made for what? To be broken. So rules are made by the governments, rules are made everywhere, but we find loopholes. Do you see that very carefully? We try to find loophole in every damn law or any rules or abiding uh, instructions. Why we want to break through that code? And we might say we succeeded, we broke that code. But grace has something that comes hidden only to counteract that. That is what we call as cosmic intelligence. That is what we call as divine destiny. Karturajnani prapte phalam karma kim param karma tajjanam. That which is given by the ordainer, he gives the results, not according to me, but according to the divine will. What is that divine will? This one. Nobody can bypass that. It gives exactly what is meant to be. So the divine is more intelligent, divine will is more intelligent than the free will. That is how all the asuras in the end get cunningly defeated. A spider falls in his own web, like that only. They create something for themselves and they only fall for the. Look at Bhasmasura. He cunningly asked for a boon that whatever I touch, I have no death, I should have no death. And but whatever I touch should disappear, should be destroyed. Bhasmo jay. That is what he earned cunningly through his tapas. And he got it. But what happened? Anything he touches will get bhasmified. So Shiva, you can see, the supreme intelligence, Kartur Ajnani, that plays a trick on him very conveniently in his own language, because it is delivered in the language they understand. So you know that story where he copies Shiva's every act. Whatever Shiva is doing, he is doing, and Shiva starts dancing. He starts dancing. He takes one right hand there. The Asura also takes one right hand there, and this way, that way they do, and finally Shiva touches his own head, and this Bhasmasura also touches his own head. Immediately Bhasma, he destroys himself. Cunningness. See, there is a divine intelligence. You see every story of all asuras, you will see only one thing common. Somehow they gained the boons of Shiva. Somehow. You see Tarkasura, he told that I should not be killed. I can be killed only by the son of Shiva, because now he knows Shiva is not having a wife because Sati died and Shiva is withdrawn in meditation. So he says, now a cunning clause can be put that, okay, I need death, right? Okay, death, but only by the son of Shiva. And for that, Kartikeya was born. So Shiva intelligently again created a son from his third eye. The sparks come from here, and the story, that's awareness actually. But you can see, whatever, it's all our stories. Asuras are within us only. We are only that. It's not something outside. We only are asuras. So we, everywhere we are trying to avoid, dodge something or the other, and in the end, karma phala comes only. Come do what may. So in places like Arunachala, when we go, they are opportunities for us to cleanse our sins, not to keep on adding there doing nonsense. I keep telling that because now we might see that who's nobody's watching. How can it be nobody's watching? Everything is watching. Shivatva is completely watching. So only thing is, it doesn't come and force anybody. It has all given. It has given everybody viveka. This viveka is your tool by which you are navigating in this punarpi janmam, punarpi maranam. How much you want to play the game, how much you want. It's all your viveka. You can simply deviate and create new stories. You remove this cunningness, simply the flow, whatever is there, you go. Or you add cunningness and then you keep twisting the stories, this and that, this and that. You will keep adding karma phalas to that. Exteriorly, we might feel, no, we are doing a great thing. We might not see this entire, we might think that nobody is seeing it. But the cosmic intelligence is always watching. That is Chitragupta. Chitragupta is always keeping records. As I told, Chitra and Gupta. Gupta means secret. Chitra means memories, images. Whatever you do, there is a screenshot. Every kshana, there is a screenshot taken. So that screenshot is the Chitragupta. That is, it goes in your files. And based on that is how karma is. Karma phala is generated. So kartura jnani prapte phalam karma kim param karma tajadam. Arunachala Tattva reveals this. Now are you getting? Why we are talking so much about free will, divine will, everything is His will and all that. So if troubles are coming in our life, why do we say Teri raza mein meri raza? Just with the rakyos, it's your will. Thy will be done. Why do we say that? Not out of helplessness. It is not out of helplessness. It is out of awakening. It is out of an illumination that you have realized, okay, Kartura Jnani Prapte Phalam. This is coming by the Chitragupta. So nothing is injustice basically. If you say it is injustice, then you are challenging Kartura Jnani Prapte Phalam. You are simply telling what you are assigning is not right. Are you getting it? He is not assigning by favoritism or non-favoritism. He is simply assigning what we have earned impartially. Isn't it? So that's the clarity that Arunachala Tattva is giving us here. So the mother is saying earth is only superior. Shiva can be attained by his grace. This is the meaning of that grace. By his grace. What is that his grace? When he sees, when that Tattva sees that everything is happening by dharma, it simply reciprocates the gifts, the karma phala in that manner. That is the grace that is generated. His abode has been revealed to me. I shall adore him at this very place and propitiate him. I shall gain eternal union with Shiva. Now she has become very clear. She got the Mahima of Arunachala. She got the complete clarity from Gautama Rishi. Now she is telling, I will adore him at this place. The secret and this abode, where he is, how he is, has been revealed to me. I shall attain oneness with him. So this is where The final sankalpa is being taken by Parvati. Till then, she has to learn. But now she is crystal clear. So that is what I mean when you come to Arunachala. This kind of tattva starts activating the clarity and of what you are, what is your final goal. Despite all the troubles, that's another thing. But that intensity of the goal will start increasing. Don't you see all the guys who have been here, all the 30 to 50 people in the past 3 4 years, don't you see that thing is activating very strongly in you? That's the grace of Shiva. That you realize you are here for this work only, and you can't take your eyes off it now, even if you want. Even if your samsara is telling otherwise, you might get in samsara, you might get lost in it, you might forget and all, but something will wake you up again and again and again and again. You can't sleep. One lady from Chennai who long back was in her, but for a long time she was not there. Then I think she's seeing this. So she used to be very regular in those retreats, but then she was not there. Yesterday she wrote a message to me saying that I'm coming for this retreat and all that. Okay, fine. I want to talk to you. So I will talk in the retreat, whatever. No, there's something that's internal. I can feel the intense internal cry. I can't explain it, but I would love to just talk to you about it. Because I remember she's the one who was talking about families and things like that once upon a time. Fully, I said, okay, fine. But today, nothing other than that. Something is calling from inside. I just want to finish off everything and just be focused on this, she says. That's not what you are doing. That's the grace of Shiva. That's what Arunachala. You come here, it will catch blaze. I get so many of your messages. All of you talk the same thing only. Today, I think, today or yesterday, somebody else also wrote to me saying that how much ever I forget or I miss or I go back to my own world or I feel helpless, suddenly your words come in touch. Again, I am back into that. I feel so blessed into that. There's nothing other than this is what I'm telling. There's nothing other than this goal that will be there sooner or later. That has to keep on intensifying like the Heer Ranja, like Parvati Shiva story. See the love story, how beautiful it is. Parvati's love for Shiva. It intensifies. Now she's taking that sankalpa. So anybody who comes to Arunachala repeatedly will start taking that sankalpa. I read last time one mail also in some previous episode when one of them wrote that, after coming to Arunachala 2 3 years back, I'm losing my interest in the world. I'm not feeling connected to this world anymore. Something is shaking me up. Though I'm playing many roles, I'm putting on many masks, I am fed up of these roles. I can see through the mask that I'm putting. It shows the helplessness of seekers. Though you know the truth, though you want it, but still so many you're caught up in. That's very normal. That's normal. See, why is Parvati doing tapas? If it was so easy, she would have just got it. But tapas means this only. Cleaning off the mess of this samsara is tapas. So वो बोलते हैं ना, the cloth got dirty. The little cloth got so dirty. I'm washing it now to make it pure. लागा चुनरी में दाग, छुपाऊं कैसे? So these are obvious things, very, very obvious. And as it intensifies, the pain also is intensified. It is painful. It's not so easy. सुनने में आसान लगता है, but it's worth it. That is why it is called tapas, penance. See, by this time she is telling now I'll gain it in an union with Shiva. So she is taking the final because now she is going to sit for that final leap, nothing else. Till now all the things happen, but now clarity has come, and now is the next chapter that's coming, Mahishasuras. So that we'll understand when we sit fully focused, all Mahishasura will start coming from inside, from outside, from around you, everywhere, everywhere. All kind of Mahishasuras will start attacking you, and that part is challenging. That part is not very easy. But again, without the grace of the divinity within us, we cannot move through that. So that's what in the next chapter about the the aspect of Durga, which is in Parvati only. In Parvati only is Durga hidden. That rises up to protect her. So in us also there is that force. Provided the intensity is powerful, otherwise this force will not come. Parashakti will not come. It has to be the Akhand Yuddha, the war of Dharma, the final war to reach to the goal. That intensity वेग, उस वेग से जब होए, that time, that layer protection will come. It will not come if it is very casual. If I am not very serious, I come and 1 week I am okay, 1 week I am going to be in Arunachala, and 1 week I am just serious, but I have got better plans to go back and do this and that, and I'm not very serious, but okay, let me do some meditation because nice time to do meditation. I get only 1 week in my whole year, and 1 week I want to do meditation. That's not the intensity of this final sitting. The goddess then decided to perform penance devoutly in the presence of Gautama. At Gauri's behest, a thatched hut was built for her. The goddess, with her slender form, lotus like eyes, matted tresses, wearing a tree bark, and shining with the brilliance of the carbuncle, was the very embodiment of penance. So, she followed the various structural injunctions and exhibited her devotion to the Lord in many ways, various ways, thus teaching the world the paths of Dharma as laid in the Vedas and Shastras. Her slender body withstood the severity of penance without exhibiting the least trace of weariness. So, last paragraph says she decided to perform the tapas in the presence of Gautama. So Gautama Rishi's ashram only, she meditated. The final penance was done there. Gautama Rishi ashram, you will find it on the left side of the Girivalam. I think after Kubera or Nivritti Lingam, somewhere that side only. Left side, if you keep a watch, you will see that, or you can read it in the map also. Gautama Rishi ashram. Of course, there is no ashram. There might be some temples and all that was built. But in those days, that was the spot that ashram was, and that is where the mother was believed to have done her tapas. So it says here, she decides to do penance in the presence of Gautama, and so a thatched hut was built for her. A hut was built for us to do her tapas there. She followed all the injunctions, scriptural injunctions, and means she followed the dharma. She followed all the prescribed ways, formats, which is laid down in Shastras and Vedas, and her slender body withstood the severity of the penance without any weariness. Slender body. Even if her body is slender, her will is mighty. That's another example for us. Saying the body is not weak, or my mind is weak, or my life is weak. Or, example, these are all excuses. This purposely they are putting this again and again here. Goddess with a slender form, matted tresses, was the very embodiment of penance. So, irrespective of what your mind or body or karma or situation, irrespective of all that, what is needed is that intensity. So, here she could withstand all that. So, this is the end of the chapter of 9. Yesterday, which we missed out, I repeated it. Nice timing. It is exactly 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. I saw it. 1 1 1 1 1 5 ones. The next chapter, the slaying of the demon Mahishasura. This is the 10th chapter. Brahma continued. So Brahma is telling this story, right? He only is telling his son the story in the start. The whole story started there, right? Where is the start? Hmm. Sanaka is asking Brahma, the son is asking Brahma about the whole story here. We desire to know from you about the greatness of Arunachala. Please tell us. And then this whole thing began. Brahma is telling Sanaka the whole story. It's like a flashback. I took you to the flashback. So all this was the narration. Now coming back again to that, Brahma continued. It's like a film story, right? In the start they're showing, then the whole movie goes. Then you get lost in the movie. You think it's the real. Then you understand, no, somebody is actually telling a story. So they show Brahma continuing. So he's continuing the story now here. Brahma continued. The Devas who were oppressed by Mahishasura, a demon who had taken the form of a buffalo, came down to earth and sought refuge with the goddess. They cried in fear, O goddess, save us. When she asked what was the matter, Indra and other devas folded their palms respectfully and told her about their sufferings at the hand of Mahishasura. So, this is the entry of the villain where he took the form of a buffalo, the demon takes, because demons change form. Asuras, devil changes different. You can see the Rakshasa, Ravana coming there with the 10 heads, and when he comes in front of Sita, he becomes a sadhu, Vikshandehi, changes form. They are very much known to change form, and this is not a devil outside. This is us only changing forms. I told you, hypocritical masks. We say something, do something, our sadhana is something internal. These are all the changing masks. So what is this ego? Every place we change our mass. Who are those mass ones? Shumba Nishumb. Shumba Nishumb are known for the masks. I have explained this in the Parashakti webinar. Shumb and Nishumb, two demons, are the false masks. One is the outside mask that we maintain in the outer world. When we go outside, we are not what we are, we pretend. And this is very sure with each one of us. Very difficult to get rid of this. What we are at home, and when we step out on the road, what we are. When we step in the university, what we are. When we step in the office, what we are. When we step into the market, what we are. When we stepped into a party, what we are. When we step into a doctor's clinic, what we are. When we step into our neighbor's house, what we are. Anywhere you go, the Mahishasura is changing forms. Shambhanisham. We pretend. It's a pretension. It's not exactly the original. If you observe, deep awareness, if you keep and you keep observing, that is part of our practices, what we do in shifting into awareness. Daily practices. Being aware of the identities, mass. So in the outside world, we are busy changing mass, like Mahishasura. So that's Shumba. And when you come home, Nishumb, the other one, other mask is all over. Outside mask is over. Now the internal mask opens up. What is the internal mask? Suddenly I become an identity individual. Outside world, I was something else. Now when I've cut out the outside world, inside I come and new mask begins. Suddenly I become a father. Wife comes, I become a husband. Mother comes, I become a son. Daughter comes, I become a father. You see? You just think about that changing in graphics. Son comes, suddenly he has become a father face. The mother comes, suddenly he has become a son face. A knock at the door and you open, a friend comes, suddenly his face changes into a friend. Shumbani Shumb. So Shumba and Nishumba are known for these mass, and that is what fuels the Mahishasura. So do you get it? This Mahishasura is not something about some story where we are sitting and waiting to clap hands when the mother is going to kill outside. We are like biting our limbs and what is going to happen next. That is us only, basically. So in Arunachala Tattva, what we do is we don't project all this outside. When we hear all these things, we project inside and we contemplate. Because when you contemplate what is being told here, you start realizing the falseness. You start realizing where the problem is. It's not in the mirror, it is here in the subjective. So that is called tapas. Listening to the any Purana, listening to any satsang courses, any stories, any mythology with the right attitude helps. Projecting outward doesn't help. You'll say Mahishasura is outside, mother killed, then you'll be busy uh, decorating your Navaratris. Why? Oh, no, that is the day, that is the time when mother killed. So we have to build a stage for her. We have to keep a murti there, and we'll do Jagrata. We'll sing all night, and there the purpose is gone somewhere else. It is supposed to invoke the Parashakti in me and kill the Mahishasura in me. Whenever the Mahishasura, different forms come, through my deep awareness, I kill it. I just simply look deeply, and thus it is killed. Durga Shapsati is not once in a year event in Navaratras. It is a every moment event. That is why it is called Mahayuddha. इतना जल्दी खत्म होने वाला युद्ध नहीं है, बहुत काम है उसमें, long. So Mahayuddha is because of the complexity. They say for 5,000 years the Yuddha went. Mahabharata Yuddha, not immediate. For years it went. Why? इतना आसान थोड़ी है ईगो छोड़ना. It is not so easy to give up this. It is not, first of all, it is not easy to see it. Like what I'm telling right now, it's not easy to even sit here and realize and accept it. It is so difficult. मारना तो दूर की बात, acknowledge करना मुश्किल है. Acknowledgement के बाद, after acknowledgement is the work. So Brahma is continuing with the story. The Devas were now troubled by this demon Mahishasura, who had taken a buffalo. Who are these Devas who are disturbed? You can see in the stories, all the Devas are disturbed and they'll be running, Trahimam, Trahimam. They're searching where to go. We'll go to Brahma. No, it's very difficult. Brahma can't help, Vishnu can't help. Oh my God. It's a very deadly, serious problem. Whom do we go to? We'll go to Shiva. Who are these gods who are running inside and outside? It is your good qualities only, which are troubled by the Mahishasura. All the goodness in you, Devas, don't they get troubled? Tell me. Every good aspect of you, you know, you're a good boy, you're a good girl, you're a good person, you have done good deeds, you know your goodness also, but that goodness is shaken when the badness comes up. When Mahishasura comes, it's so helpless. Did you see that? How much ever you feel I have evolved, how many years passed, I have had the blessings of so many people, so my guru, my path, I have done this, I have done that, all good. But when Mahishasura comes, we are helpless. How much ever we know, all the gyan goes for a toss, everything goes for a toss. Then Trahimam, you don't know what to do. Then you run to Arunachala once in a year. Let me go there. No, it's not a joke. That's why I run every month there. I simply run there. Trahimam, Trahimam. Devas get disturbed because there are a lot of disturbances in all areas, inside, outside. So you have to be Sharanagati again and again. So Devas are the good beings inside you who are challenged by the Mahishasura. You have to approach the inner goddess, the inner god in Shiva. There is only where you are going to get the final protection. So they cried in fear, "O goddess, Save us. When she asked what the matter was, Indra and other devas folded their arms respectfully and told her the sufferings they are undergoing under Mahishasura. They said, Mahisha, his name is Mahisha plus Asura. So Mahishasura. Mahisha sports in the wood of Nandana with Apsaras, the celestial nymphs, having brought under control Airavata, Indra's elephant, and the other Diggajas. Diggajas. Dig means direction. Gaja means elephants. Diggaj. Must have heard this word in Hindi. Diggaj in India, in Hindi, we refer Diggaj to as VIPs. Diggaj hai. Diggaj lo. So Diggaj actually means the 8 elephants, the cardinal points, 8 cardinal points. I told you this before in one of the earlier episodes. The 8 elephants on which the whole earth is balancing. These 8 diggajas are supposed to create the cosmic balance. They are tattvas which maintain the balance of creation. Even if it has to do something, like if it has to shake and bring a earthquake, it will bring, just to restore balance. They are the one who sustain. So Mahisha sports in the wood of Nandana with the Apsaras. So he's having a good time with the Apsaras there. Having brought under control Airavata. So he has now captured, Mahisha has captured Airavata. Airavata is Indra's elephant, his Vahana. Indra, I have explained who is Indra, the king of who has victory over the Indriyas, is Indra. So his horse, not a horse, elephant. It is a symbolic expression, the Airavata, of Buddhi, pure consciousness, which Airavata connects the higher and the lower world, like the Buddhi connects the lower and the higher world. What is in between the self and you? Viveka, Buddhi. Buddhi connects you to the higher world. Buddhi is like a doorway. It is the point from where you can transcend from here to there. Without buddhi, you cannot go that side. That is why we are talking so much about awareness, buddhi, and all that. So that zone is the middle world, by which you can move the lower, connect the lower to the higher. So Airavata is a symbolic expression of that. Airavat Hati, the elephant, vehicle of Indra. So the buddhi is what has gained control over all the senses. Viveka. Do you see how symbolic these tattvas are? So he has brought under control that Airavata. Airavata, who is supposed to connect you to the higher world. Your Viveka Buddhi, that only has been controlled by whom? Mahishasura. Having brought under control Airavata, Indra's elephant and Diggajas, the elephant belonging to the 8 cardinal points. Okay, I made a note here earlier. The 8 Diggaj are the 8 cosmic pillars maintaining equilibrium of the earth, protecting the boundaries of space against all chaotic forces. It is responsible for stability, wisdom, cosmic balance, grounding the spiritual energy, and the strength that is needed. These are all symbolism for that Diggaj. The 8 Diggajas represent these things: stability, wisdom, cosmic balance, grounding, the spiritual energy, and the strength. So Diggaja. Gaja means elephant. Gajapati, Ganapati. Nice word. Pati is the Lord of all Ganas, Ganapati, Lord of all Gajas, Gajapati. So you can see elephant is a very powerful symbolic expression. See, 8 Diggaj, all are elephants. No head, no ego. I have explained how Ganapati is nothing but purified chitta, which means buddhi, purified. See, connection here? Again, this is also connected to elephants. So, that means Mahisha, has taken possession of Uchaisrava. Uchaisrava is again Indra's horse. So he has taken possession of Uchairava and other horses. He also keeps millions of goats, which are the mounts of Agni, and allows his son to ride them. He yokes the bison, the mount of Yama, to his chariot. Hmm. This is a little more deeper, so I think we can continue this tomorrow, because if I sit with this will go very long. Okay. Let me complete this para. So he has also taken possession of Uchaisrava, which is, I'm hearing this for the first time, Indra's horse, Uchaisravas, and other horses. Now horses have come into place. So this Uchaisravas is actually, if you see in mythology, it is a 7-headed white horse, Sat Sarvala, Ghoda, mystical horse. But that 7 head represents silence, purity, stillness, etc., that arises during chaos, during manthan. So, this 7-headed horse just means the silence, the purity, the stillness that arises even during the chaos. When manthan happens in our lives, one is you get agitated, you get repressive and all that. But one is the rare quality, despite all this, there is a silence, there is a stillness, there is purity, despite all the chaos, despite all the dirtiness, despite all the tremblings, everything is happening, but still there is a sense of purity, still there is some stillness, still there is a silence in the chaos. Mind is so chaotic, but still one tattva, despite all that, is silence. That is representing to this white-headed horse. It represents that quality. That's not an easy quality if you see. But sometimes you must have noticed it. Sometimes you might go with that chaos. Sometimes, despite all that, mind is troubled, this is troubled, something is troublesome. It's not, but still one corner somewhere, there is still peace. There is still stillness. There is still purity. There is still silence despite the noise in the mind. That rare quality. That is what is indicated by Uchaisravas, Indra's horse. So Indra's elephant is a connector between the lower and the higher world. Power to do that. And this horse, Uchaisravas, is the 7-headed horse, which brings all that stability, rare quality. So Mahisha has captured this also now. Look at this guy. Capture the elephant also, captured this Uchaisravas. Means you see this ego. There is a power in us, despite all the troubles, to be still connected to that Shivatva. Uchchaisrava, that is there. But if Mahishasura takes over that, it becomes more difficult because that is a very connecting point. So Mahishasura has taken over everything, like, and other horses also. I don't know what other horses means here. He also keeps millions of goats, which are the mounts of Agni. So Agni Devata's Vahana is goats. So he keeps millions of goats also in control. Oh, Mahishasura. Now, what is goats here? Goats simply means sacrifice. Goats stand for sacrifice. Goats also stand for the lower nature of the mind. Also, goats have this strange capacity to balance. It can go on a hill, cliff, despite all the terrains, very difficult terrains, it can still climb. Steadiness. It will not slip so easily. That grip in even the difficult terrain. So goat stands for that. Agni Devata's Vahan. See, these are all very deep symbolic. That strength to you know, the ability, the firm footedness in all the challenges. It also indicates the lower nature, as I said, and it also indicates sacrifice. Goat sacrifice, very, very commonly given in this religion. So he took over that also, goats also. Oh, Mahishasura. He has captured that. Means this quality. See now how the story is getting converted. All internal it is. Nothing to do outside. So I told you, if you do not understand this, if you cannot relate deeply, all the story might appear simply funny. Like Mahishasura went and caught somebody's goats and somebody's elephants and somebody's horses, and what is this? You'll say goats, millions of goats that too. It means this. So imagine one goat has that power, millions of goats. That's Agni Devata's power. He yokes the bison, the mount of Yama, to his chariot. So now he has got hold of the bison of Yama also. Bison is that Vahana of Yama, not the bike Yama, the god of death. He comes on that buffalo, right? That bison, that huge creature. That has another quality. Bison. Bison simply means thick skinned, very thick skinned, very stubborn, arrogant, and dumb. Bisons are like dumb. Bisons are dark, indicating that lower nature. Bisons are strong, rigid, numbly rigid, roughly rigid. So that is the bison of Yama. Why Yama is given that kind of lot of depth has been given, that Vahana is this. And Yama also carries this weight of karma, carrying the load of karma. Bisons are very, very powerful. They can carry loads. So it also means the untamed tamas, tamas, the darkness, the delusion. So this guy has got hold of the bison of Yama also, who Mahishasura. Siddhas have been enslaved and are compelled to do his biddings and wait upon him. So he has conquered even the Siddhas. Even the Siddhas have become helpless in front of him. They are compelled to do accordingly. So Katputli Jasa, he makes them do anything. If there is anything in all the three worlds that he does not possess, he is not satisfied until he gets a hold of it. So Mahishasura, until he gets anything and everything in the three worlds, the lower world, middle world, and upper world, he is not satisfied. Here only you can get a hint. Our ego it is in the three worlds. As for us, we live in fear of him as his servitors and are compelled to obey his commands. Yeah, we also live like that only, like a slave, not just the Devi, Devata, and all these other like Indra or Yama. It is This ego that we are scared of, we are even helpless. And you can see that very, very strongly as you come deeper and deeper on the path. You'll see that this is one guy you can't tackle head on. Very difficult. And we are compelled to obey his commands. The Asura demon is invincible. Having obtained a boon from Shiva, he is more powerful than the Devas and the others. Harassed by Mahisha, the king of the seas wails in desperation and offers his jewels. So when the king of the seas also is, I don't know who's that, Varuna, he also offers all his jewels to him. Jewels in the ocean. We have got so much precious stuff with us, our goodness, our powers, so many things. But when Mahishasura troubles us, we give it off. We can't help it only. With his horns, Mahisha digs the mountains. His strength is unequaled. Nobody can oppose him. See, they are simply defining the strength of the ego. How deep this thing is. His strength is unequaled, they say. Nobody can come to destroy him. You will discover this yourself when you come to destroy him. Very true. This can be easily accepted. You are the power of Shambhu in the form of woman. So this is being told to Ma Parvati, that you will come to know who this Mahishasura is yourself when you come in power. So all these devas are running to the mother and saying, "Try, mom, protect us." So they are only telling, you will discover for yourself when you come to destroy him. You are the power or Shakti of Shambhu in the form of a woman. It is destined that he should be killed by you, for he has obtained a boon from Shambhu that no man shall kill him. Goddess, you must save us. So you can see here another technicality that went wrong. He asked for a boon that I should not be killed by you, Shambhu, by Shiva. So you can be killed by the goddess. One loophole, you're caught. One mistake, and you're caught. Heavy mistake. I was watching billiards the other day with my friend's house, and it goes on for like, half an hour, one game. I was seeing what these guys are so crazily watching, and I watched one game. And it is that they told me, you can't make one mistake. Means if one guy is holding the stick and pushing a ball into, he will continue pushing one, 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 one. He has to finish the game. In the first stroke only, he has to finish the game. If he makes one mistake and the stick goes to the other, the chance goes to the other, the opponent can finish the game. And I saw it. One mistake one guy made, the rest of the 20 minutes was played by the opponent one by one. Technically, he finished the game. So when a person misses a ball on the table in billiards, he's disappointed, he's scared. Now the game is gone. He has to simply wait and do that. So it reminds me of that. One mistake. So they are reminding the mother, now we have come to you because only you, O goddess, can kill, because he has taken a boon from Shambhu that no man can kill him. Mardus Kumar nahi sakta. No man can. So a female can. See, no female will dare to go to such a great asura to fight. That's quite common. So obviously, probably Mahishasura might have thought that way. What women will hit me and all that. I say only men. No men can kill me. But the goddess is also a woman. So that was the loophole. One mistake and the game is over. Okay, I'll stop here. Well, our yesterday I was telling, I don't know if I missed that when I was trying to tell. Um, Saturday we'll have one session and shifting into awareness, our Zoom session, regular Zoom session for all the members of shifting into awareness. We'll do something deep there. But I would request all the people who are going to be in the future retreats to join that session. Okay, especially those who are coming to Tirunamalai in the next couple of weeks to next couple of months. Please join that session, and that is for everybody, all the members. I mean, whoever is there, the members, you will get the link on your WhatsApp. Those who want to join these sessions are welcome anytime. You can go to the website shiftingintoawareness.com/join, all free sessions. And this one, I think one more chapter is there. Just after this, Shiva unites with Shakti unites with Shiva. That is the last in this section. So I told you this is part one. I'm not doing any other parts. There are part two, part three, part four. I'm just doing the Mahatam, Arunachala Mahatam, Skanda Mahapurana is what we are reading. So part one and part two are all that. Part three is Shiva Rahasya. Part four is Shiva Mahapurana. So those two I'm not doing here. And fifth one also is there. Skanda Upapuranam. Skanda Upapuranam. Maybe we can do it in some other session, but this series, what we are doing, Glory of Arunachala, will end here. I see that it is there. There are the same stories repeated of how Vishnu and Brahma fought and Shiva came and become the light and all, but it's different. It's, I think, it's been told by Markandeya Rishi to Nandikeshwara. So it's a different version. So I'm not going into that. We have basically understood what the structure is. So we will end in the next chapter, which is how Shakti merges with, unites with Shiva, 11th chapter, and that's the end. So I think that we should be able to complete it maximum by Sunday. Given Saturday, we are having one session on Zoom. There will be no live. So tomorrow we have a live, and Sunday we have a live. Sunday I don't know. It might be in the morning also because I might get little busy after afternoon. If you can't see it also, the recordings are there anyways on the live. You'll see it. So let's just become aware of today's session, the grace of Arunachala in our life. The introduction of Arunachala in our life can happen only with the grace of Shiva. When he wants us to listen about him, when he wants us to know about him, when he wants us to deepen our awareness and interest in him, the grace is generated, opportunities are generated. So let's just become aware of the Arunachala Tattvainess, the Arunachalainess. Arunachala is not far away, it is in us. When Arunachala calls you from outside, it simply means yourself is calling you inside. Simple. The more you pull you have towards Arunachala, it simply means it's a strong pull from yourself, but because you cannot hear internally, because we are not inward, we are not deeply aware inward, because we are outward, the hill which is outward in the macrocosmic world, it is pulling us. Like I told you, if you cannot hear your inner guru, you will hear the voice of the outer guru who will pull you outside. And you have to go and surrender to the outside guru. When you surrender, truly surrender, you will understand you are actually bowing down to your inner guru only, and then you get connected here. Same way, the outside hill calls you and makes you surrender to the outside hill, but you do not realize that when you surrender to the outside hill, you're actually surrendering to yourself here. The day we see it here, the whole process is over. The whole purpose of the play, Arunachala Mahatma, this Skanda Puranam, the Parvati's penance, and this whole story, the purpose is over. The curtain falls. the day it finishes, the day the target is achieved. Like I was reading Nisargadatta Maharaj once, and there was a devotee who was asking him a lot of questions, deep, deep, deep stuff. So he went on telling things like, actually it is all a joke. And even this story of we sitting here ignorant and all that. And then Nisargadatta Maharaj simply told him, hey, you are going too deep. Huh? If you go very deep, you'll not be able to write your book which you're so crazy about. You'll ask, who is this one writing the book and what for? So that, because the tattvas are so deep, once you touch that point, Nisarga told him, once you touch that point, then you lose all your interest to even write this. And it's very true. So the Nisarga asked, then what are you going to write then after that? He said, this is the last. After I write this, then it's done. So Nisarga asked, but how are you going to write it if you go and touch that space? He says it will happen spontaneously. That is the end of that script, what I read. He says it will happen spontaneously. Means he has understood. He is not the doer of writing that book. That can happen, definitely. Because once you understand the whole thing, the wheel drops, Gungat ke pat khol. When that wheel drops and you see the whole thing, there is nothing to do, there is nothing to, actually, there is nothing else to do. And that is where the doing stops, funnily. Let's become aware of the Arunachala Tattva in us. Of the inner pull or the outer pull, whatever you feel. If you feel the hill is calling, if you feel Shiva is calling or Shakti is calling, some deep pull outside, it is nothing but your inner call only. Because you are not listening to your inner voice or unable to listen to your inner voice, you are feeling the deep pull and the outward. They are one and the same. Whichever way, I feel grateful. The way the grace calls me or is instilling inspiration in me or interest in me, which I did not develop. Look carefully. You don't even know when your bhakti started, devotion started. You don't even know when your inclination towards spirituality started. You can't recollect exact time. You can recollect an incident, but if you go deep, you'll see that there's something which you can't explain. It just began happening in you one day. And if you see very closely, it began, and since then it is only growing. Something makes you do things, something pulls your attention inside, something puts, you can say literally, puts a thought in your head. Because you do not manufacture your thoughts, you are also a victim of your thoughts. Think about it. Thoughts rise from your subconscious, unconscious. You only don't know which thoughts are going to rise. After it rises, when you catch it, you follow that thought. So that thought gives you the interest. Due to that thought, you develop an interest, a connection, a craving, an urge. But the only ignorance here is you feel you have generated that thought. That thought is yours. Thought is not yours at all. Thought is floating around. Thought is not yours. But that feeling that this is my thought, ownership of that thought, that ownership is where the beginning of ignorance is. I catch that thought and I say, I did it. I say, I wanted to go there. I say, I got an idea to do this practice. I said, I have a desire to go there. I have a thought and I say, I am going to do that. I want to do that. In reality, it is just a passing thought that was caught. So, my question is, find out who's generating these thoughts. Even the ego doesn't know. Even the I simply catches it. That spot from where it rises, that is only what I'm saying. Kartur ajnani prapte phalam. Karma kim param, karma tajjadam. Everything happens by divine will. It's something from inside that rises and catches your attention and makes you do things. That is how you came into the path also. You didn't come. You were called into the path. That rising of that desire in you, that is called grace of Shiva. Become aware of that and feel grateful to it. That part within you, which I have always unseen. That part. I feel thankful. Something inspires me from inside. That is what is motivating you. That is what guides you. That is what tells you to take the right decisions, right paths. It appears as an idea, as a thought, as a feeling, but you are not the originator of the feeling. This you contemplate deeply. Then you'll understand what is divine will. So keep being aware of this space. This mysterious zone from everything arises. This dark space. Scientifically, this space is known as the unconscious. Mythologically, this space is known as the dark space. The space of Mahakal, Mahakali. The space where everybody is scared to look into. The space which is known as mysterious. Why your images portray this darkness as fierce and terrible, like the face of Mahakali, Mahakal. Why? Because it symbolizes that mystery, that fearful space, that unknown realm. So meditating on Mahakali, Mahakal is just this, that space from where everything rises. Because I do not know, my logic doesn't know, my ego cannot make any sense of it, I am scared of it. All the fierce forms of the Lord or the fierce forms of the goddess are only to scare the ego, to kill the ego. The ego is scared of it. Self cannot be scared of it. Self understands it is the supreme space of Parabhairava. Meditate on that space. That space is the space before Arunachala. Before Arunachala happened, before the light happened, that space, the space of Shunya, nothingness, from where the light appeared. That space is what we refer to as Parabhairava, Parabrahman, Parashiva. That space is what is the self in us, as us. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadayachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. See you tomorrow at 9. Arunachala Shiva.